What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and it is time for the return of 5 Questions with Levi. Yay! Yay. So anyways, yes, my old 5 Questions weekly Q&A show I tried to do about 6-7 years ago is finally back, and it's going in full swing now. So without further ado, let's get to some questions. So the first question that came in was from Sonic Johns 924, and he asked, what are your thoughts on NASCAR being sold? Well, it's not been sold yet, it's up for sale, but I get what you mean. The only reason why I haven't made an in-depth video about that until now is because I still was trying to let it sink into my head. But basically, the short answer about this would probably be that it's a good thing that the France family is finally going to back out of the sport, because it's been apparent over the course of about 15 years that NASCAR has been going down the wrong path ever since Brian France took charge. Once he took charge, everything has just snowballed from there. The cars are bad. The mile-and-a-half tracks they go to, most of them are very awful to watch. The format is terrible. And they've been declining for a long time, so it's about time that they finally just gave up and decided, you know what, let's give this to someone else and maybe they can keep it alive. As far as who I think is going to buy it, I guess right now the two big rumors going around is that either Disney or Comcast is going to buy the sport. As far as how much do I think it's going to be sold for? Well, if we take last year when Liberty Media bought Formula One for $8 billion, I got a feeling NASCAR's only going to get sold for about half of that, maybe at most $4 billion, but I think at the minimum it's going to cost $1 billion. But doesn't matter who buys it as long as one of two things happen. They either know more about the sport than Brian France on how to fix these bullshit problems that have happened over the course of 15 years now, or at the bare minimum, the people who then would run the sport listen to the fans, and we basically tell them our criticisms, they listen to it, they test things to fix it, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, oh dear, oh dear. Next question comes from Fat Fuck Behind a Burning Asshole. Probably one of my favorite usernames so far on this site. What do you think will happen for the rest of the 2018 NASCAR season? Well, if it keeps going the way it's been going, where pretty much the majority of the races this year have been rubbish, then I don't expect really anything different for the rest of the season. I mean, the only good races we'd probably get before the end of the season would be any of the short track races, Darlington, and that would be pretty much it. Phoenix. That's basically all. And as far as who I'm already thinking is going to win the championship, I'm thinking Harvick's going to go for number 2. I mean, he's been kicking ass this year. 5 wins already. And we're not even halfway through the season yet. So, but I'm hoping some of my favorites or guys that I like can step up. Like, I hope Truex gets on a bit of a hot streak. Blaney finally gets a win at Penske. Chase Elliott could finally win a race. I'd like to see Kenseth be able to put on good finishes in that 6 car to prove that he's still got what it takes even at the age of 46. So yeah. But damn it, I wish Carl Edwards was still around. Next question comes from Josie Lazald. I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. What do you expect from NASCAR Heat 3? Well, NASCAR Heat 2 was a vast improvement over NASCAR Heat Evolution. I understand that when Heat Evolution came out, they were pretty much building the engine and the game from scratch. Totally respect that. However, the game was still not all that great. NASCAR Heat 2 was a vast improvement to the point where it was an okay game. It was an okay game. I haven't played it for a little while, though, but I thought that the features in the game were a little bit more well done. However, there is always room for improvement. There is always room for improvement. So what I expect from NASCAR Heat 3 is that it'll be another step forward for Monster Games when it comes to doing these NASCAR games, considering... Oh god, you Technics. Next question from Dylan Young, X86753098858X. Early predictions on who's going to the WWE Hall of Fame for 2019. Well, my list is pretty much almost the same as anyone else's list. Like, Owen Hart is at the top of pretty much everyone's list, and even mine. However, that's a huge long shot because of obvious reasons. And also, Demolition is another one that should already be in. However, that's another big long shot because of the bad blood between them and Vince McMahon. But at some point, I think Demolition will get into the Hall of Fame someday. Because, as we've seen over the years with the Hall of Fame, hell can freeze over. Other people that should go in, British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith should be in there, whether as a singles wrestler or as a tag team wrestler with Dynamite Kid or part of the Hart Foundation faction. Brian Pillman's another one that should go in, and I'm still confused as to why he's not in already. You know, he was a very influential American high flyer in the late 80s, early 90s, because high flying wrestling was only seen in like Mexico and even Japan. Not so much in America. It was Brian Pillman and Shawn Michaels who were like the two, really like the first two guys to do the high flying, almost lucha style of wrestling in America. That I know of, at least. So, Brian Pillman needs to get his recognition. Rest in peace. China, of course, needs to go in, of course. That's a possible long shot only because of two reasons, though I'm more dead set on the first reason, which is that Triple H doesn't want her in because of their past relationship. But the PC or the fucking internet version is that they won't put her in because if I could speak, that would be dangerous, that she'd done porn. Who cares if she did porn? You got Sonny in the Hall of Fame, who did porn before and after. Hulk Hogan, Bubba Ray Dudley. So what's the problem here? I get because it's not kid-friendly. Hall of Fames are not meant to be about that. It's supposed to be about recognizing the true pioneers as well as the most influential performers in the wrestling industry. China was influential during that Attitude Era for women to go for more than just women's championships and stuff like that, and actually go head-to-head against the men. So China needs to go in, yet they have the fabulous Moolah in the Hall of Fame, and what she did in her life was way worse than what China did. Give me a fucking break. And then the last one I have off the top of my head is Vader. Especially if the rumors are true that Vader only has a select few years to live, then WWE need to put him in so he can be there in person and give a great speech. Plus, Vader's one of the greatest big men wrestlers of all time. So you need to put Vader in. Soon. Like, very soon. And the final question for episode 1 is from my good buddy David Rivera, Ford Minor Project. What's up, man? What do you want to see back in the WWE 2K series? Your ultimate list of things to see back in the series, basically. Well, there's a lot that needs to be brought back. Mostly like a bunch of moves that kept getting removed over the years. Some of the old creation features from like Here Comes the Pain back, like create a taunt or an animation, that would be great. But the number one thing I want to see back in the WWE games is a traditional season mode, because season mode was the thing that got a lot of us into wrestling games, because season mode back from SmackDown vs. Raw 06 back, they were fun game modes to play and fun stories to play, where you can pick anyone you want, whether it be a created wrestler or a person in the game or a Hall of Famer. It didn't matter, and you could do whatever you wanted, essentially. I don't understand why they won't bring that mode back. As far as how it should be done with like storylines and stuff, for me personally, I'd rather have it be text-based rather than voiceovers, for the simple fact most of the voiceovers we got in the WWE games over the years were awful. They were just awful. The voice acting was terrible, and I hear they're doing that for 2K19. I feel like that's a dumb move because, well, have you not heard any of the voiceovers from the old games? Do we really want to go back to crappy voice acting? No, we don't. So nonetheless, that's basically the number one thing I'd like to see in the 2K games again, is a traditional season mode where you can pick anyone you want and choose your own path, essentially. Just a thought. And that does it for this first episode of 5 Questions with Levi. I will be back for episode 2 next week, so for those who are watching that didn't get a question in last week, be sure to send them in the comments section below of this video. The first 5 questions that come in will be answered next week. But until then, I'm Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. Thrash Maniac 99. Peace out, and I will see you soon.